Hello there and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Michelle Ferré and I'm a 4th grade teacher in Maryland. I've gotten so many questions about my virtual teaching setup. I've shared that I'm using multiple screens, I've shared that I'm using a document camera and lighting, and I've gotten a ton of questions. So today I'm going to show you everything. Alright, here's the deal. I thought about making this video super fancy, you know, like having multiple angles and showing things, but the reality is I am exhausted from back to school and just starting teaching online and everything. It's a lot and I do not have the mental or even physical capabilities right now to do that. So instead, this is going to be total vlog style, very casual, but you know, it will get the job done. The first thing I want to talk about is using a second screen. Y'all, this has been a game changer. And honestly, even when things go back to normal, I feel like anytime I'm working on the computer, I'm going to be using a second screen because it allows me to be so much more productive. So let me show you all kind of my setup. So this is my home setup because I am teaching some days from home and some days from my classroom. This is my iMac monitor. If you are interested in the one that I have, I will link it for you. And then this is actually a TV. Billy and I already had this TV in the office because we tend to watch shows and stuff at night when we're working. And I have this as 2 different screens. So just to show you, this is my Google Classroom. If I wanted to, I can click and drag and bring it over to this screen. So let me show you how to do this because it's actually not that hard. I feel like I thought it was really hard, but it's actually not. Now, I'm gonna show you I'm gonna show you one way and explain a different way, but 2 different ways because one way is how I do it at home, the other way is how I do it at school. So if you listen to this first way and you're like, Michelle, I can't do that, just wait and listen. Okay, step 1 is just to turn on the TV. So I'm just going to use my remote in order to turn on my TV. Now, I actually have Apple TV. I'm gonna zoom in, you see it right there down by the TV. Because I have Apple TV and I'm using an iMac, it actually makes my life a lot easier because I can just AirPlay my screen. So yes, Billy and I were watching Survivor. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up here to the AirPlay option. Now, if you do not have this option available, just go into your settings, go to display. Actually, here, let me just show you. So go to the Apple, go to System Preferences, give it a second because it's slow. Go to displays. And then you want to check show mirroring options in the menu bar when available. So once you have that checked, you will see it up here. I'm just gonna click this and I'm going to choose Apple TV and you will see that screen will turn black, and then now I have my tabs over here. But I'm just gonna show you up here, you want to make sure you choose use as separate display. If you choose mirror, it's just gonna show the same thing on both computers, which is not what you want. So instead, you want to make sure it is on use as separate display, and then that will actually give you those 2 screens. So I could take this tab and bring it over to this screen. Now, one thing you will want to double check in your system preferences, so I'm gonna go back to system preferences and go back to displays. You want to go to the arrangement tab and make sure it's set up the way you want it. So personally, I have my computer here and then my TV is to the left. But if they were flip-flopped, I would want to switch it. So that way when my mouse goes off the screen over here, it would go onto the TV. But because my TV is over here, I just move it like that. And then this way when I move it, my mouse just kind of travels over to the TV. So hopefully that makes sense. I know it's kind of a janky tutorial, but you know, you can always Google it if that wasn't clear enough. Now, if you either are using a PC or maybe you're using a Mac and you don't have Apple TV, like at school, I'm using a PC laptop that was issued to me by my county and I'm using not Apple TV. So all you need then is an HDMI cable. So you want to be able to plug the HDMI cable into your computer. If you have a newer Mac, it may not have an HDMI cable, but you can actually get an adapter that will allow you to plug the HDMI into your USB. I will link all of this stuff for you in the description, by the way. and you're gonna plug the HDMI into the TV. Now on a Mac, once you plug it into your computer, whether it's through the HDMI or through the USB if you're using an adapter, then you just go back to System Preferences, go to Displays, and then again, you'll see that Arrangement tab, and you can set it up the way that you want it. If you are using a PC, let me see if I can remember the directions. I had to go, actually, hold on, I think I wrote it down. Okay, yeah, I did. So when you are on a PC, you're gonna go to Display Settings, which you can always search down at the bottom if you can't find it, and then just choose your monitor order, kind of like I showed you on my Mac. It's pretty much the same setup. Once you plug it in, oh, I know what I forgot to tell you all. You want to make sure that if you're using a TV as your separate screen, that you have it on the correct input. So if you are plugging it in through HDMI, you wanna make sure that the input is set to HDMI. Now, again, if that was not clear enough, because I probably did not explain it very well, Google it and you'll find plenty of like detailed directions and all that as well. But yeah, so at home, I'm using my iMac and a TV. At school, I had an old TV that was down in my basement we were not using. I brought that into school and I'm connecting it with an HDMI cable to my HP laptop, but it works exactly the same way. So in terms of what I put on each screen, hello, there I am. I typically put my Google Meet over on this screen so I can see all of my students. And then on this main screen will be whatever I'm presenting. So if it's like slides or Google Jamboard, it's here. Only because I like having it closer for me to be able to click and manipulate things. And then it works out really well just to have my students over on this screen just so I can see them and monitor them and keep track of the chat and everything. That's kind of what I've been doing for my setup, but feel free to, you know, make it work for you because different people like different things. And just to be clear, do not go out and buy a second monitor or a TV to use as a second monitor. Please reach out to family, friends, put it out on Facebook. I guarantee you there is someone who is willing to lend you an old TV that they're not using or an old monitor they're not using so you don't have to spend your own money. And I say that because I think there are other things that are worth spending your money on. One of them being a document camera. So I typically have a document camera in my classroom, but we were not allowed to bring them home. So I did go out and buy one, okay? And yes, it was a little bit pricey. This brand, oh, I'm probably gonna butcher it, Okio Cam. It's Okio Cam T USB camera. I will link it for you. I spent $84 on it. Now, I used gift cards that I had gotten for Amazon and stuff, so it really didn't come out of my own pocket, but I did spend a decent chunk of change on this. But there are a lot of things I love about this document camera that to me are worth it. First of all, it's super user-friendly. You just plug it into the USB on your computer and you're basically ready to go. I'll show you that in a second. But I also love that I can use it both as a webcam and a document camera. For me, that is totally worth it. So I don't have to constantly switch back and forth between different cameras on my computer, like within Google Meet. I can literally just take the camera and flip it up and flip it down in order to use it. I feel like that is well worth the money that I spent. Plus, I'll be able to use this for plenty of other things. Who knows what in the future I might need it for. So again, if you are interested, I will link it for you, but I am gonna share a budget-friendly option, so just keep listening. This is what it looks like unfolded, which that's another plus. I love the fact that it folds up and it's super lightweight, like it's not heavy at all. And actually this piece will extend it up even higher. So if you want it up more, you can definitely add on that other piece. Because I have this unit on my desk that is higher, I don't really need it. And there's this mat which unfolds. I personally don't use it. I just have the camera come down over my desktop. But this is the USB cable, so it's already connected to the camera, and then I literally just plugged it into the back of my computer. Okay, so now I've just opened up Google Meet on my computer. I'm going to, before I actually join the Meet, come down to these three dots, and I'm going to choose Settings. And I'm sure this is similar on Zoom. I'm just showing Google Meet because that's what I've been using. I'm gonna come down to Video, and I'm gonna change the camera to the Okio Cam, which literally I didn't have to install anything. As soon as you plug it in USB, this will show up. I do go ahead and change the resolution just to high definition so that it looks a little bit more clear, and I can X out, and you can already see there is my document camera. So I'll go ahead and join so you can see it full screen. There you go, document camera, super nice. There is this gray button, so if it's not focused, oh gosh, I'm trying to do it by looking through the camera. It will focus on whatever you are showing. You can see it focusing there. And again, this can be used as a webcam. So instead of having to go into the settings and then change the camera back, to me, because that's very time consuming, like I don't want to have to do that, I can leave it on this camera. All right, I'm gonna try to do this with one hand, but basically I can just flip this up to me. Hi, there I am. Oh, I'm upside down. All I have to do, flip it over, and there we go. It's a webcam and a document camera. Literally in 2 seconds, I can flip back and forth between the two, and I just feel like it's super user-friendly, easy to use. It was a little bit of an investment. For me, it was worth it, but I understand for you, you might not want to put the money into it. And if that's the case, I do have a budget-friendly option for you. If you have an old phone laying around that you can still connect to your Wi-Fi, so like an old iPhone, you can actually join the Meet or join the Zoom from that device, and then you can use that as a document camera. So if I join from my phone, then that camera can just be used as a document camera. I can set it up on a tripod or something, and it will constantly be in the Meet, and then students can see what it is. Personally, I just feel like I'd rather have an actual document camera, but if you do want to save money, that is an option for you. Next, let's talk about lighting. Now, I did previously make a video all about how I record my YouTube videos because I was getting a lot of questions about lighting, so you can go back and watch that video. But at home right now, I'm facing a window, which is what you want. You want to be facing the light source so that the light is coming toward you. You do not want the light source to be behind you because then you're going to look like a silhouette. However, I understand we can't all sit by a computer, or we might be in our classroom under fluorescent lights, which I know I personally am. So I do want to talk a little bit about supplementing your light. So at home, I am supplementing with a box light. Now, I was not using this box light in the last clip, but sometimes in the morning when I first log on, the sun isn't really up yet and there's not a lot of light. So I do like to keep this softbox light in here to help supplement. I will link it for you. It's a little bit pricey. They come in a 2-pack for about $70. However, I do think it's a really good investment. Now that's a little bit too bulky for me to have in my classroom, and like I said, the fluorescent lights are awful. So I actually brought my ring light into my classroom. My team teacher inspired me. She got like a little mini ring light, and I was like, oh, Michelle, like you have one at home, just bring it in. And it does put a little bit of a glare on my glasses, but I feel like for live instruction, it's not awful. I don't use my ring light anymore for YouTube videos because the glare is too distracting, but for webcam, it totally works well. And I just have it sitting in front of my camera at school. Now, you don't have to get a super expensive ring light. They make really cheap, kind of affordable options for ring lights. So I will link a couple of different options for you down in the description box, as well as some options that actually will connect right to your computer. Let me show you. Now, I don't have any personally, but they will connect either like right over top of here, or they'll sit kind of behind, and they just help to put some light on your face as you're facing your webcam. So that's basically it for my setup. I feel like those are the 3 main things that have made the biggest difference for me. Having a second screen by far, having a document camera, and then having good lighting. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up, share it out with your teacher friends. The links to everything I mentioned will be down in the description box. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. As always, thank you for watching. I love you all so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, especially now. And I'll catch you in the next one.